Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 24th of October for the Sun or the Ascendant. This is a crackerjack week. There's so much going on. I'm really excited to share it with you. What I'm going to do is give you the overall strands which influence us all collectively, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you each of the 12 zodiac signs in much greater detail, from Aries through to Pisces. So as we start this week, Saturn has ended its retrograde, but it remains in a very attritional right angle with Uranus. So I need to explore that for each of the signs. We also have the Sun and Venus have moved together into the sign of Scorpio. Now, the Sun in Scorpio is very much about transformations. It's where we're most invested or devoted. But Venus technically is not at its best in the sign of Scorpio. But of course it did have that magical connection with the Sun last Saturday, where they were exactly side by side. So the potential to continue a dialogue around a relationship matter is there, but I think what we get now is much more into the deeper analysis, the real politic of what some relationships are about, and perhaps the real politic about our longer term financial situation too. Now, of course, we have the partial solar eclipse on Tuesday, which on the face of it does give us some opportunities. But it works in tandem with the total lunar eclipse of the 8th of November, which is truly astonishingly tough. So I think we are about to see a massive reset globally. When it comes to energy consumption, the price of things, the cost of fuel and foodstuffs have all been going up, but I don't think we've seen the end of how this restructuring is going to play out. However, on Friday, Jupiter, the planet of growth, retreats in its retrograde back into one of the two signs that it governs, the sign of Pisces, where its rulership is a much more spiritual dimension. It's going to continue the retrograde until November the 23rd, but it will stay in Pisces through to the 20th of December and return to Aries. So there may be something of a deep and contemplative strand that we really need to consider quite carefully through this change. Now on Sunday, Mars slams on the brakes, goes into a retrograde through to the 12th of January. But it's going to stay in the sign of Gemini through to the 25th of March. But for the whole of October, the whole of November, it is within 3 degrees in a square with Neptune. And that's creating quite a lot of distortion. So that's something else I need to explore for each of the 12 signs for you. So please stay with me. You can see an enormous amount of celestial action. If you are new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you would like to understand what year 2023 will hold for you personally, if you give me 3 pieces of your birth data, of time, date and place, I can give you your forecast for next year, but if you order it in 22, you'll get the rest of this year 3. But in my special package, you can also get your life roadmap, your character analysis, which can help you to understand some of the repetitive patterns in your existence, but also how you can perhaps change some of the more challenging ones, but also work with the more encouraging energy in a much more productive way. And there's 30% off. Please see the link below. So Virgo, your week commencing the 24th of October forecast sees a lot of activity in your sector of relating. Jupiter, the planet of growth, returns to this area, and obviously Neptune continues there, so the two rulers of the sign of Pisces are reunited. But Jupiter continues to retrograde, and Mars in your sector of success clashes with Neptune right through this week. So when it comes to relating, care's needed. But the solar eclipse sees Venus so closely aligned to the Sun that the next 6 months suggest if you can choose your words with care and deliver your message in such a way that people will be very receptive to it. So it's not necessarily just what you're saying, but how you say it. That's the critical matter. That can really help you to make progress. Now, Saturn has ended that rather wounding retrograde in your sector of physical health and vitality, but it is still in an attritional right angle with Uranus in your sector of freedom, escapism, travel. And so that part of your nature which is such a solid citizen, you really do take your responsibilities carefully and seriously, and Saturn's just emphasised your qualities in that regard over the last couple of years. But equally, Uranus has been pushing you not to give too much of yourself away. So that story continues through to the first week of December this year. But also, your ruler Mercury is challenged by Pluto this week. So when it comes to financial matters, there could be an intense discussion that you need to have. But once more, again, the location of Venus to the Sun is giving you an opportunity to deliver your message with a great deal of care and a degree of extra thought, really. The diplomacy of Venus can be really, really helpful to you. The downside of Venus being so close to the Sun in Scorpio is that Venus is technically detrimented in Scorpio. So if you say things for effect, or you say things that you think other people would want to hear, then I think that's not going to be received as well. So it is going to be important to say what you mean and mean what you say, but be very clear about your relationship interactions, because Jupiter is still in retrograde and Neptune is compromised by Mars, or vice versa.